Okay, welcome to Lights, Camera, Barstool, the week of July 7th. We are on July 7th. I almost fucked that up. I almost somehow always meant to script the date right off this top.
I mean, we've been off for a week.
Yeah, brain is just broken.
Most of the office has been off for a week. I actually listened to our boss. I worked the whole time.
You worked the entire time? Yeah.
And by work, I mean I watched a lot of movies.
Watched a ton of movies. I actually did.
I did that too.
So I was at a lake house upstate, and they had satellite TV that was dog shit, but they had a DVD player and a bunch of DVDs, a stack of DVDs. 90% of them are dog shit, but we used it as an excuse. So like at night we'll watch some movies, watch some DVDs. So she watched for the first time There Will Be Blood, The Matrix, and The Departed.
All right.
All three.
Damn.
Liked all three of them.
All right.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah. And also she got the choice the last day, and we did The Lake House. Not as good. Not quite as good. No,
This
pretty
is
bad.
why we don't let our significant others of the female variety pick movies.
You think gay guys are picking good movies?
Yeah, I kind of do.
They probably are, yeah. They do have a better catalog. But yeah, so we have some stuff to get to, and we are going to be reviewing F1, which came out a couple weeks ago now, and then Jurassic World Rebirth, which came out last weekend. And then we'll also be doing a draft of we're doing from the 90s, the top 30 highest grossing movies. We're going to be drafting which ones of them we think are the best. So a fun little one. We could just start out with just a couple of news items, nothing crazy. First being I'm curious how much you are into this, because you were up in the correct age for it. Street Fighter. They have most of their cast lined up. Were you a Street Fighter fan?
I was. I did.
Okay.
I played it. Yeah.
50 Cent as Balrog, which I didn't know Balrog was a character in Street Fighter.
I'm not going to lie. I saw the headline and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He's in Lord of the Rings now?
Andrew Koji as Ryu, which is great. I love Andrew Koji. If you ever listen to me, I rant about Warrior. Fantastic show. He's really, really good in it. Cody Rhodes as Guile. I think that rocks.
Okay.
He's a wrestler. Looks kind of just like him. Noah Centineo as Ken. Whatever. Jason Momoa as Blanca, right?
Okay.
Blanca,
Yeah.
Kalyana Liang as Chun-Li. Roman Reigns as Akuma. Andrew
A lot of
Schultz.
wrestling.
Yeah, and David Dalsmachian as Dalsmachian
Yeah. Who I like a
as
lot.
M. Bison. So interesting cast.
That's an interesting one.
Very
'Cause
interesting.
It was Raul Julia in the '90s movie.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That
he was
one-
very sick.
Yeah, he died right after that,
He
right?
died. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could tell like watching it like it wasn't because he just had done like Addams Family movies.
Yeah.
And you could tell like something just wasn't quite right. And that was with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, JCVD. That had what's her name from like Mulan and stuff too. I think it was Chun-Li. I forget her name. She's a really good
I
actress.
think Bridget Wilson was in that too. From
Yeah. But yeah, interesting. They obviously just did what was that other? Yeah, it's like these old arcade video games. I feel like they are kind of like you're grasping for an IP to latch onto, which is whatever. But this one in particular, I like this cast for the most part. I think wrestlers are a good fit for any sort of arcade fighting game, as far as like your casting
especially
wise.
that one where the guys were so like
Over the
bizarrely
top.
big, and I mean I don't know if there's a movie there. I mean the game itself was so kind of just brainless. You just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I mean the whole thing you have to have a good story. You have to create that story from basically thin air. 'Cause the story in the game.
It's just you're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you're a big Street Fighter.
Not a big Street Fighter fan. Don't really know anything about the lore outside of Chun-Li. So I think
Everyone
what's her
knows
name?
Chun-Li.
Kalina Lang.
Yeah.
You got some big shoes.
Yes,
big
big
something
shoes to
to fill.
fill. That's true.
Big something to fill. I think that. Looking forward to seeing how they pull that one off.
Warner Brothers has set pause on the Doug Liman underwater thriller Deeper, starring Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas, who we still don't know if they're dating or not. Seems like it's potential. There was concerns about it having a budget at around $275 million. Cruise is now shopping the film elsewhere. I don't think theoretically you should have an issue shopping around a Tom Cruise post blowing up the box office Mission Impossible and Top Gun Maverick, like shopping a Tom Cruise Ana de Armas movie set underwater. That seems like it should be
underwater is
easy to sell.
scary. You don't want to shoot in water. And then Doug Liman looks like he might have moved on. He's doing The Stand now.
Yeah, that's right.
So this might be dead.
Which was that? Did you say it was your favorite?
My favorite book of all time.
My favorite.
Is The Stand.
Yeah.
And they did a '90s miniseries, which is campy and kind of goofy.
Mm-hmm.
They did a CBS All Access miniseries, which is atrocious. Where they
So
jump
bad.
through
Oh
time.
my god, it was
really bad.
terrible.
I'd love to see an actual like good Stand. I don't know if you can make a movie of it because it's such a long book.
Mm-hmm.
Might need to be like a multi-part thing, like a trilogy of sorts. But
Sure.
I don't know if Doug Liman's the right guy, but I'm for any Stand on the big screen that would.
They can
work.
make 18 Pet Cemeteries. I think they can make 3 Stand movies.
I just hope I hope it's good.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that should be easy, right? Cruising to Armas?
Cruising de Armas for sure, but like Klemmer said, is Lyman the guy you're gonna trust with $275 million?
What's the biggest budget?
And you say
movie?
I would
like
guess
Cruise, yes, but DeArmas doesn't. Like
Bourne
Ballerina
Ultimatum?
didn't make any fucking money.
Yeah.
Like why is she bankable?
She's had some I think like a tough break post Blade Runner where she's picked a lot of very bad projects for reasons of whatever, like maybe good reasons picking them. Like she did the one with Ben Affleck who she was obviously seeing at the time. That was terrible. Was it Deep?
Oh, Deep Water. Yeah, Deep Water.
Terrible. Ghosted, which I'm sure Apple threw like an insane amount of money at her and Chris Evans to do. Terrible.
Blonde.
Ballerina is good. I like Ballerina.
Yes,
It
good
was
time.
okay, but like it made 70 million,
Yeah.
right? Like, and that was basically on the back of John Wick, not on the back of her.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm a movie studio, it's like $270 million budget. Tom Cruise obviously great.
Yep.
Doug Liman hasn't. He's not an automatic hit, and then Don DeArmas isn't going to bring anyone into the theaters.
I would be interested in seeing them do something more at the budget of American Made, more at the level of American Made, which is
so
another,
fun.
which was the last film he did with Doug Liman. They're good friends, so I get the
Me too.
I get him wanting to work with him again, but I don't think this is the setting to do it. I would love to see Tom link up with one of the big premier blockbuster directors and make this movie.
Sure.
But Lyman, no.
Jim Cameron.
Yeah, like Jim Cameron that'd be incredible.
I mean, no one knows water better than him.
No,
You got
no,
The
no.
Abyss, obviously the Avatar
Yeah.
movies. A lot of those take place in the water.
I love The Abyss.
Yeah.
It's a. I don't think it's a good movie.
Way better concept and way better technicals than actual movie, but yeah.
If you look at the technicals, though, like the stuff they were doing in the '80s it looks amazing.
Looks great. Fucking,
Ed Harris is good.
He's really good. The whole cast, honestly, is really good. But yeah, the most money Doug Liman's ever made on a movie worldwide box is Mr. and Mrs. Smith, $486 million.
That's a lot of money, though.
It's a lot of money.
What's 2 and 3 on that list?
Bourne Ultimatum and Jason Bourne, and then Edge of Tomorrow after that, and then Jumper.
See,
What
I
Edge of
didn't
Tomorrow
even,
make?
make Edge of Tomorrow 2. What happened to that?
They keep. I feel like they've been trying to tease that Warner Brothers. Like they over and over again. They keep like posting Edge of
367.
Tomorrow
And it
stuff.
set itself up for a sequel.
It for sure did. But yeah, Jumper, Born Identity, American Made down there, Chaos Walking. Oh my God, that made any money?
Where's the Adjustment Bureau on there?
I don't think that's making any touch on this at all. Swingers, wow, $6 million, only for Swingers.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie that cost nothing to make, so it's all profit.
It was great. Yeah. So yeah, I think that should be easy to find, sort of a home somewhere else. ScarJo is officially the highest grossing actress of all time, kind of as we lead into Jurassic World here. The mathematics of it maybe are a little bit dicier than I think people are giving credit for. Because I mean, if you're looking at all these movies that she's in, like Samuel L. Jackson's in all of these plus more, it's like he's in Star Wars, like you know what I mean. Like, and I think also what helps her a lot in this case is the animated movies. Like we were just talking about it before. The Jungle Book made $1 billion, which is just like a voice role that probably required 10 days on set, like, or in a booth, whatever. So it's a little bit, the mathematics of it are a little bit strange,
That's
but
bullshit. I mean, like Julia Roberts. You put her on a movie poster, people went out and saw it because of Julia Roberts. In it.
Yeah.
That's a bankable movie star. Like,
yeah,
Scarlett Johansson, I still don't think is a bankable movie star. She did, was it Lucy?
Lucy
Yeah.
made a solid,
And
400,
that made money, right?
Made a solid 400 and something million. Yeah.
That's on her. To be fair, that's on her back.
Very hard.
But since then, though, like, what has she done? That's
Black Widow
made-
tanked, like a lot of.
And
these,
that's a Marvel, but even that, you're right? They didn't even do well.
That's
That-
her first
right.
solo thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything else was she was
Like,
in
you can't give her
ensemble.
credit for Jurassic Park. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah. And also
for
just,
Jurassic World Rebirth, what they call it.
and also related to Jurassic World Rebirth, it broke the record for biggest 4th of July opening ever in movie history, which is kind of cool.
It's great.
Sure.
It's good. It's good for movies.
It is good for movies. The thing with Jurassic Park is they keep making money, so they have no motivation to really look at the problems within the franchise. And I think we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah.
it's just so bankable. It is such a bankable franchise. It's incredible.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? Let's just go straight into Jurassic World Rebirth because there wasn't a ton of news that hit over this last week. So
Actually, before we go into Rebirth, you want to talk about what we got to see before Rebirth?
I don't know. People are so fucking pissy about everything spoiler-wise with this, and I get it to a degree, but
With the trailer?
you're talking about
The Odyssey trailer? People are being pissy about the...
Oh yeah,
dude, pretty detail free.
it's a fucking nothing. It's a 2-second clip. You just see a clip of some dude, like two dudes
John
talking
Barenthal talking
for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually,
and people are pissy about it.
You know whose voice it is at the beginning?
Yeah,
Leguizamo.
Yeah,
it's right.
it's fucking crazy.
I forgot that he was in it, and then Yeah, that's one of the weirder castings. Let's not talk details, but just kind of general thought.
General thoughts. There's nothing really to say other than looks visually good.
Tom Holland, does he look good?
It depends so much on what the balance of this movie is going to be. Like, if it is more Tom Holland and less Matt Damon, I'm going to be a little bit less enthused. If it's going to be more Damon, less Holland, I think I'll be a little bit more. So it's really tough to tell right now. I need to see a full thing.
Shot entirely on IMAX cameras.
Great.
Yep.
Which is really interesting. The entire movie shot that way. That's fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Odyssey guy, but because Nolan's attached and just kind of the way this looked.
Yep.
I'm amped for it.
Did you like Troy?
No.
Did you like Kingdom of Heaven?
No, I didn't see Kingdom of Heaven.
Braveheart?
I'm like lukewarm on Braveheart.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Oh, bro, that's a great question. Not totally related, but
that's my favorite of the movies you mentioned so far.
Okay.
I love that era though, like 95ish to 2005, when they just kept making like more historical epics. And they're more guilty pleasure, I think, than legitimately great movies, except for Kingdom of Heaven Director's Cut, which is actually an amazing
legitimately,
movie,
yeah, like
an incredible movie.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I like that they're kind of maybe pushed back into these, like doing more historical epics, because they're cool, especially if you have the money and the sort of capital within Hollywood to make them right, like get extras, go shoot on location, do cool shit. Like, that's all great to me anyway. But yeah, I thought it was fine. John Bernthal just is funny in the setting.
He is. I like that Nolan is very much letting them use their accents too.
Yeah.
Me too. That actually made me encouraged. I'm like, all right, this isn't going to be as textbook boredom as other.
For some reason, I don't know why. In all those movies too, the ones we were just talking about, the British accent was just the default accent of antiquity, and I don't know why. Where it's like anything you had said in ancient Greece, for some reason everyone was talking with an English accent. I don't totally understand why. Maybe you just wanted something, more uniformity between everything, but I didn't totally understand that. But also, if they're talking in Greek accents, it would be weird too. So I don't fucking know. But yeah, anyway, we could talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion, dog shit movie. The Dominion.
Steal the moon.
An expedition braves the isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistorical creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. Directed by Gareth Edwards, starring Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, and more. Which, one of the random ones in here, Ed Skrein was in this, and I don't know who he's pissed off, but like the fact that he was in that movie for 2 seconds, I feel like it's crazy. This dude is at like headline movies, whatever. But yeah, so this movie, I think it's a plot you've seen 100 times from this franchise. Every single movie has the same exact plot. Generic, CEO of Evil Corp wants to use dinosaurs for illicit gains. That's the plot of every Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movie. So they do in every one. And before breaking it down fully, I think we could just give some quick thoughts. I think, personally, that this is the best individual execution of a Jurassic franchise movie since the original. The gap between this and the original is huge. It's the canyon. But still, that just shows you how bad the rest of them have been. So I think it's the best individual execution, but it's also like the opposite of reinventing or reimagining or putting like any sort of rethought and process into like making a good story. Because again, it's the same thing you've seen 500 times. So didn't love how they didn't take any sort of brave steps or do anything unique or shoot a shot. They just kind of like played the hits, but at least the hits were played well. And I attribute a ton of that to Gareth Edwards, who did so much on set or on location shooting for this in Thailand and shit, and like he put a lot of effort into making it look good, and I respect that at least. But Gooch, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. It does. I would agree that it looks better than any Jurassic Park movie since the original. I haven't seen The Lost World in so long. I'd have to go back and rewatch that one.
I saw it in the theaters.
But as far as I can remember, I would agree with you, especially the in between the number stuff when there's not a dinosaur on screen. I was really impressed with how it looked. You could tell they were filming and shooting on film on
35
location.
millimeter, right?
Yeah. So it looked great, and Gareth Edwards has always, his strength as a director has always been CGI. So of course these dinosaurs look great. I will say though, this story just again does nothing for me, and at some point I've just thrown my hands up with this franchise, and it's just frustrating, especially when they take a turn here, and we'll talk about it more plot wise, where people not caring about dinosaurs is just that's part of the magic of Jurassic Park, is that no matter how many times you see these dinosaurs, and why people keep coming back is because they're just amazing. They're amazing to look at. So yeah, it was a very frustrating experience for me. I think the characters are very dull. There is one character I like we'll get into, but outside of that, yeah, this was kind of a miserable experience. Not the worst movie. Definitely not a bad movie, I would say. Like, if this was your first entryway into the Jurassic franchise, you'd probably really enjoy it. But for me, 7 movies in, it's just...
Like, this is what you got.
Yeah, this is just like, I'll never revisit this. Same way with the Jurassic World films. I'll just never go back to them. Yeah. Klemmer, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is not... Is it a terrible movie? No. It's a dumb movie. There's an exchange at the end of the movie. I won't give any spoilers, but I literally groaned out loud during it. It's just badly written. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala, I always mispronounce Dave.
Yeah.
Ali is a great actor. David Kopp's a great screenwriter. He wrote Black Bag, Presents.
Wrote the original.
Wrote the original, which is a brilliant movie. You know, you have a budget. You have a good director like Gareth Edwards. You have Academy Award level movie stars. This should be better, but it's never going to be. And at some point, you gotta all right, what's the movie's intent? Why does this movie exist? It exists to make money, not domestically, but internationally. So because of that, you're gonna have less dialogue. So then less stuff needs to be either dubbed or subtitled. You're gonna have a plot that doesn't take a lot of explaining to, because once again, it needs to be dubbed or subtitled. These movies exist to make international money. The last 3 each made over $1 billion, 1.6, 1.3, and $1 billion. This made $318 million over the weekend, the 5-day weekend. It's probably going to make $900 million to $1 billion, so it's a success. So, unfortunately, while I had hoped this would be a reset, and this would be an intelligent Jurassic Park movie with moral dilemmas and an intriguing premise, kind of like what we had in the first one, that's just not the world we live in, and we have to just kind of accept that.
Yep. So I think we could break down some of the individual more aspects of this movie. I think the story, to me, is the biggest downfall for this movie, because again, Evil Corp and generic CEO trying to abuse dinosaurs to make money. It is literally the plot of every single movie after the original. Every single one of them. Like the first guy, what's the Attenborough's character's name? Doctor.
Oh my God.
Ian, or not Ian.
No, Ian Malcolm is Jeff Goldblum.
It's Jeff Goldblum. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought
he's like a more magnanimous. Like he's the one good guy CEO.
He does love the dinosaurs.
Yeah, he genuinely loves them. And then after that, all you get is the most no face, no name, generic bullshit CEO trying to make money off this. And it's a plot of every single movie. And in Jurassic World, since the last 3, the plot is everyone has been like, we're making hybrid dinosaurs. The hybrid dinosaurs are going to come out and get you. And that's just been the plot of every one of those. So it's so recycled. It's like we're like the last rung of the human centipede in this fucking thing, when it's like it just keeps just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you get less out of it every single time. And I hated that. And I think that another kind of weakness of this is when you get like this sort of like hardened mercenary covert ops guys, they are the nicest human beings alive. What the fuck was that? Like these are like just absolute
mercenaries
sweethearts.
are heart of gold.
Yeah, mercenaries are the heart of gold. It's the biggest sweethearts on the planet Earth.
I went on a show called The B.O. Boys, very good show about box office, and they made a great point about how basically the Ali and Scarlett Johansson characters are the same person.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They literally are.
There's no reason to have 2 of them on screen. Like they're the same person.
Yep.
And but it's like, once again, this isn't. I say this isn't for us, but like this isn't a movie meant. This is a movie meant to almost be like, oh, it's the summertime. I like seeing dinosaurs. I'm going to go see Jurassic Park. Oh, there were a couple of good attacks. You walk out of there. You never think again about it. Mm-hmm. That's what it's for. It's not for a love of cinema.
I get, but that first one is
fast food. The first one's a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
But like if you're looking to chase the high, which I was doing when I went and saw this, you're going to be disappointed.
I would agree with that.
This isn't like what do you give this movie? I give this movie like a C, I guess. Like I don't know what I say about it. Like it's not. It did what it I guess was supposed to do, but like it didn't challenge me anyway.
Yeah, it's like a 70 to me. Like
a 70? Isn't 50 average?
50 would be like an F. Like an F.
No,
F-.
What's 0 to 50 then?
What's 0 to 50? That's all F.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's all failing grade.
50 is average. If 0 to 100 is the grade, and 50
to me 65 is passing, right?
But but it's 0 to 100.
That's
scale.
That's like D. That's D minus is 65.
These are the double AP classes, Kenjac. So you get an extra 20-point curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But I'd
way
be,
too much scale given to F.
I think we're on the same page. Is like it's kind of right down the middle. You know, mid. I think is mid. You are a little higher on it. But
it's all about the execution to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we hate it because we've seen this 5,000 times in this franchise.
No, I think anyone with a brain hates it.
I don't think hates.
It says they hate. I don't think anyone with a brain likes this movie.
And there's nobody that's gonna love this movie. There are definitely going to be people that
Shay
like this
loved
movie.
it. Said it was the funnest movie this summer.
I think,
And I think
What?
Shay's a smart guy, but not when it comes to movies.
What an indictment.
I don't think there's a lot of people that are going to love this movie. I think there's a lot of people that are going to like this movie.
I think you're right. I think that's what all they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's all. That's their ceiling hope here, more
Like
or less.
we want people. It's like fast food. Like, we just want people to eat it, enjoy it, but never think about it again.
Yeah,
I have some questions about like narrative decisions they made that just don't even make sense in the way of like simplifying the story, making it easy to digest. One of them being the mercs. Like, why make the main characters mercenaries in the first place? Like, what is the thought process behind that when you're making a family film about dinosaurs?
yeah.
I don't really get that, especially when they're really never using their mercenary skills at any point
Not
in
really.
the film.
They're just kind of like general adventurers.
Exactly. The continuation also of these mutant dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What is you have a Ferrari in the garage. Why are you
fucking
putting
T-Rex,
nasty
dude.
like decals on it and putting terrible paint jobs over it? Just let it be. They're cool. You don't need to do anything else with these dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see the T-Rex hybrid, raptor hybrid with a brontosaurus. Like, no, I don't need that. I like to see the things that I grew up seeing in textbooks in real life and seeing them come to life and seeing how they move and how they interact with the environment. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And then finally, and I think I brought it up before, Unforgivable is like being like the world doesn't care about these dinosaurs
Which is
anymore.
insane. Yeah.
That's just like, one, not believable, and two, takes the magic out of it completely.
Where people don't give a shit about these things.
Yes. So these are decisions that were made, and I just don't understand them fully. And I don't know how you... Like, they're not going to make a sequel to this. I guess they will.
What?
Because
It's
it
gonna
made
make
Of course
money.
they are.
It's-
It's gonna
but,
make
like,
a
how
sequel
does
3
this-
years from now. We'll have another Jurassic Park movie.
I don't know
How
what
does
do you do from
This
here.
exists to make a sequel.
But how does the ScarJo, Mahershala...
Yes.
Not Mahershala, but how do these characters move forward within the franchise?
Doesn't matter. You're looking at this
all
all
money.
wrong,
All
man.
money.
It's not what it's
They'll
about.
just do the same
it's
plot
about
again.
Now they're gonna go back and look at the dinosaurs again, and then the same people that
Take
you
it out.
expect to get eaten one by one will get eaten one by one.
Yep.
Rinse, repeat. And 3 years from then, there'll be another movie with dinosaurs and ScarJo and Ali, and then you know what? Their contracts will be up, and then there'll be
And
another
another
set of
3,
stars coming in. You look at this. You're trying to look at this from the logic of a story. This exists as an assembly line to make money internationally.
What's funny too is there is such clear, and you mentioned a little bit. There's such clear like red shirts in the movie.
Oh,
it's
God.
like that guy's done. Like everyone else is
you
gonna
could
live.
like one by one, like you could literally predict every single death.
Like here's
in order.
Here's my captain, whoever, and it's like, oh, she's dead.
Yep.
She's not a main. I didn't see her on the advertising material. Everyone on the
No,
advertising
you
material.
could tell in order of how many lines they had before the first dinosaur shows up. Be like, all right, I can tell you in
Dead,
what
dead.
order these people die.
Mm-hmm. So on the acting side of this, I don't think this required anything out of anybody.
No, which is a shame because like Klemmer just brought up,
Yeah.
we have, I mean, really great actors. Like
Academy Award
ScarJo,
winner,
she
Academy
might be a
Award
box
nominee.
office queen, but she's also very much an Academy-level actress. And Mahershala Ali has not worked in like 5 years. This is like his first role in 4 years, and
One
he's
of our
doing
greatest
this.
actors.
Yeah, he's an incredible actor, not asked to do anything in this movie at all. Just show up and
So the reason I was thinking about this. The reason that they're there is to basically make the movie look like they cared about.
give it legitimacy,
Mhm.
basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like if you just put a couple randos in there, then no one's gonna take the movie seriously. You have to
Yep.
go in there and you have to have real names in there.
But it does feel like there had to have been better fits. For all the flack people wanted to give Chris Pratt in that last trilogy, there was a natural fit there. Like,
Yeah,
I
he was
did
good for
see
that.
he's an adventure star, an action adventure star, and it's like a natural fit. ScarJo apparently said she'd always wanted to do one of these and pushed hard to get it. Not the right fit in this franchise, I think, in really any way.
Oh, I couldn't disagree more. I think she's the perfect fit.
The perfect
Really?
It makes the
faceless-
movie look legitimate, and she can read the lines with some sort of like. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. This exists to make money. Anything beyond that, you're just gonna bash your head against the wall. Nothing matters.
But
This-
I think you can make money and make a good movie at the same time.
I agree. They don't want to. That's not what they want to do.
That's a shame though, is that I think they
I
could.
agree.
They could.
Everything you guys are saying
'Cause
is
then you're
right.
not just making
Yeah.
money at the box office. You're making money on the home video sales. You're making money on merchandise sales, and you're making fans for
Which, by the
life
way,
when you
that's-
make a great movie.
That's another thing you kind of bring up, the Dolores thing, which they tried to soft launch that fucking the little dinosaur. They tried to soft launch that before the movie dropped.
Before
like
the movie-
weeks before the movie came out, they're like, "Hey, check out Dolores, our newest toy," and it's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
Like,
they threw a fucking, they basically Ewok'd us.
yeah.
Into like tricking us to buy toys during.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is. This movie exists to sell Dolores.
Yep.
This movie does not exist for any other purpose.
So
It's literally a cash register.
And here's the last thing I just want to touch on, because the one thing I probably like the
Which
most.
is a shame.
Yeah.
Or actually, two things, I guess, because I think the soundtrack, by the way, was good. Desplat took over for.
No, it's the same fucking score, John Williams. What are you talking about? It's great. It's the same. Oh, no, God damn it. No.
The Williams beats are
I
good.
agree with
His
Kenjac.
score-
I did like Desplat score.
I think that the
I
John
was
Williams beats are
smart to
great.
use John Williams stuff again.
The John Williams stuff is great. I think his original score stuff is good too. And the production design, I think, is the bigger plus, because the last few have been abysmal green screen monstrosities. And this one, at some points, the dinosaurs are a little shaky, but I think at most points they look great, especially in the dark, when like you have the flare up against the thing, which is a famous thing. Again, it's not like a new thing, but it looks good.
It's also easier to make in the dark because
And
there's less things to see.
I think all of the physical, practical stuff you see is great. They shot, again, so much of this on location in Thailand, which I thought looked great. Fantastic. Visually looks so much better than it did in the last few movies. And I think a lot of that really is Gareth Edwards. He just gets it. I mean, you go watch The Creator, the movie's not that great, but like everything visually looks awesome. And I think that's his big, and same thing even in Rogue One. If you don't love the story, everything visually still.
Rogue One's a great movie.
Everything,
like, borderline great movie.
Even I'm saying, like, even if you don't
like,
like,
really good.
I'm saying even if you don't like it, the visuals are still incredible.
Still good,
Like,
but there's thought involved with Rogue One. Though.
The difference there
this
is
is so thoughtless.
Tony Gilroy's script.
Tony Gilroy's script versus a cat.
And it is-
Well, no, see, I like David Kep though. Like
But
Black
he was
Bad
very
Presence.
clearly.
He wrote both of those this year.
This was very clear. Like, can you come and reskin the original?
Yeah,
script?
exactly.
Oh, he probably wrote this
In
in
a
fucking
weekend.
3 hours
Yep.
on a fucking Sunday between brunch.
Yeah.
Got a note back. Can you ham fist a family in there
Give us
that
a
are going to
family.
be boating from? What were they boating from?
Boating from
on a sailboat
from like St. Barnabas to fucking like wherever. Like,
Oh, and then they
across
try
the
to,
world.
and
Yeah.
then they try to play it off. They're like, there's boats everywhere in
We
this
do this all
water.
the time.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's dinosaurs.
There's 50,000
everywhere.
boats out at any given point. What are you talking about?
Why
It's
would
like,
you
first of all, isn't there a massive quarantine zone around all these islands? Isn't that the whole
That's
idea?
what we're told. Yes.
Yeah, over and over and over
Also,
again.
like, even if there's no dinosaurs, that's a dangerous fucking journey on a sailboat with
your kids. Yeah. Jesus. But yeah, again, visuals, I think, make it much stronger. I think, and again, just from a pure execution standpoint, based relative to the last movies since the first one, I think it's still better than all of those, because those ones were bad movies. Lost World included, Jurassic Park 3, World, Dominion.
See, this is where the
whatever
franchise has
number
been so bad, where I just have
Fallen
not.
Kingdom.
I've not wanted to go back and rewatch like any
They're
of
bad,
them. So
man.
like,
They're
I
really bad.
I'm like thinking, back through. I'm like, this was, I think, better than the last two Jurassic Worlds for sure. Definitely the last.
Definitely, like,
the
without,
last one
like,
was
cataclysmic.
I
straight
did
up
not see the last one because the buzz was so bad.
terrible.
Awful.
Funny you say buzz.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh, I
buzz.
heard. Yes,
The locust. The first Jurassic World, though, I feel like I maybe liked it better than this.
It's a big time movie by committee, I think.
And then
and again, it's the same plot as this one. Same exact thing.
it's been so long on Lost World and then Jurassic Park 3.
Neither worth a damn.
Crazy Spielberg directed Lost World.
That
Think
is fucking insane to me. Like, I don't understand how the same guy made both those movies, but whatever. But yeah, so I think that we're mostly on the same page as far
We
as
are
like
on
we
the
don't
same
think
page.
this is none of us think this is like, oh my god, this is no kidding, it's a blockbuster. It's so good. Oh my god, blah, 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 blah. It's not. It's just it's just like you were saying, it's a movie sort of built to print money, and that's it. And that I will say for whatever credit you want to give Edwards, I will say he put effort into making it look good, which is way more than you can say about the previous 3 movies and previous 5 movies. So I think that is a huge. I'll give him kudos for that. Nothing else.
Would you recommend this movie to a general audience? I would not.
To a family?
No, to a general audience. Just whatever that means. Like, would you recommend this movie or not? To people watching this show, say. I would not say go to the theaters to go see it, probably, unless you were like, if like you're like, hey, I want to go to the movies this week. I'd be like, yeah, sure, go. I would not, because I think there's other options. F1's a much better movie.
I would agree. F1 is definitely a better movie. That's also more of a niche than dinosaurs, to my opinion. You know what I mean? Like F1
it is.
F1 is way more, I don't know, targeted. But I think like if you're like, hey, I want to go to the movies this weekend, what should I watch? I would probably say Jurassic World or whatever, Rebirth. I mean, it's again, you're gonna go in one ear out the other, but it's at least sustenance as far as the blockbuster goes. Like, you're gonna have fun if you want to go watch with your significant other and have them pay attention. This is it. You know what I mean? To a nice big shiny bright movie.
I guess so.
It's not an endorsement of like a ringing endorsement here.
What would be your all's fix for this franchise?
Someone was tweeting at me that they should go full Planet of the Apes.
That's exactly what I've been thinking.
And I do think that isn't a terrible idea. Like, just go full. And my thought process was before it was like, if global warming is to continue, right? Like, that creates the perfect atmosphere for dinosaurs. Dinosaurs during that era were in like the temperature of the Earth was like 5-6 degrees hotter than it is now. So you could do it that way. Just do like, hey, there's tribes of humans that are barely hanging on to life, and dinosaurs have taken back over the planet. So you could do that. But
it's just a story that's like interesting or not so predictive. But like,
yes.
So like, by the end of this movie, I was rooting for the bad guys. I was rooting for the dinosaurs. I was just rooting for anything to happen that was just chaotic and different because everything was so. But they don't want, because a general, like, I think to the wide berth of audiences around the world, they want, the safest way is just to make this as predictable as possible. Because a lot of people just like predictable things.
I think you could do it almost the way Rogue One did it. Just like do a full spin-off, like not attached to this main franchise at all. Like, hey, we're not in the main line, we're doing a full separate thing. I think that could work as far as like trying to get some like
we're talking about fixing it is working. It's doing what they want to happen.
Yes. Well, I'm saying like from getting this back to like not.
But then it makes less money.
A spin-off wouldn't, but that wouldn't be as bad, especially if you're talking like mid-level budget versus this.
But now you're maybe flooding the market with too much. So these come out every 3 years, and it works. We're literally talking about.
But it's very clearly working less and less. What were those? I mean, you just
1.6, 1.3,
still all great. They all would.
They're doing great, but there is a clear step back every single time.
There is, in fairness, though, the most recent one was post-COVID, which has affected audiences throughout the world in movies.
And any movie studio would kill to make that much money.
$1 billion. So far this year, we haven't had any movie make $1 billion internationally, although Lilo & Stitch is very close and likely will pass it. So, like, $1 billion movie doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that this had 315, 318 opening weekend is huge. So
I think that my biggest takeaway from this is that I like Gareth Edwards' style of directing this. I think like, if you could have his exact sort of visual acumen applied to a Jurassic World, a sequel of this, let's say, but just something new story-wise, I'd be down for them to make another sequel. But if at this rate, if you want to pump them out, make money, whatever, and not even put in any effort into it, then I'm not very interested in watching many more of these. Just to me, anyway.
I feel the same way, but
just put some effort. Put some effort into some storylines here. We can't just regurgitate the same plot for the 50th time. It just can't be this. It's not even like formulaic. It's like you're almost plagiarizing yourself over and over and over and over again.
Basic characters, and those predictable outcomes.
Yeah.
I did like, by the way, brought it up earlier, Jonathan Bailey's character I did like.
Which
it was
one
the one, he was the scientist.
Yeah.
That was the one.
I like the teenage son. Or the boyfriend.
He grew on me. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be."
He
one
was
of these,
different. I was an unusual character.
Yeah, he definitely grew on me.
I thought he was dead for sure.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna.
I thought he was definitely. I thought the dad would die at 1.2. By the way, the dad snaps his leg in half at one point and then just walks it off for the next 2 hours.
Totally,
in fact, at one point he's crouching down.
Yeah,
and he's able to crouch on a busted leg.
Like his leg like snapped. I was like, "Whoa, that was pretty intense." And he just.
So lazy.
He just 30 minutes later, I guess he got a little adrenaline pumping.
So that's Jurassic World Rebirth. Now we can talk about a movie I think we assume we're a little bit more excited to talk about in F1. Formula One driver comes out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who is now gaining a lot more steam after Top Gun Maverick. Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, and Kerry Condon. I think the idea of this movie is super simple. The racing team hires grizzled old veteran to help season up the rookie. The old guy's like, "You're too young." The young guy's like, "You're too old." And it just, you run through that until you find that begrudging respect for each other. And again, before we get into more details, some brief thoughts. I think for me, kind of similar to, not in the same total breath, Jurassic World. The technicals are great. Technicals of this movie are fantastic. Every time a car is on screen, it is fucking thrilling. The story, it's one you've seen a million times. Almost, again, in the same way as Jurassic World Rebirth. But in this case, at least, it's not regurgitating itself. It's regurgitating aggregates of other movies' storylines. I don't think actors were given much room to flex their muscles here, as far as like trying getting in like really in-depth performance. But that's fine. I think it's more of a sports movie than it is a super hardcore drama or anything like that. And I think the one thing that I was looking forward to going into the movie was the racing, and the racing rocked. And that's all I wanted, and I think that's a huge plus. So what do you think, Gooch?
Actually, Klemmer, you go first because I know your opinion on this, and I think we're on opposite ends.
Okay.
And I don't want to take the wind out of your sails.
Sure. Yeah, I like this movie. Didn't love it. This looks and sounds incredible. It hits all the beats. It's just a fantastic movie. And when I say look, I don't even mean just the car stuff. I mean just the way it's shot. Kosinski has a great eye, and you could tell they spared no expense. So it really is a fantastic movie from that perspective. The story is the most basic story of all time. It's almost ridiculously cliche. At one point, they're like, well, what's our future? And then it pans to Brad Pitt walking in slow motion entering this racing team. Like, it's almost laughably... It's almost like they don't even... It's so unsubtle, they almost almost lean into it in a way. But that, to me, the good parts overtook the bad parts for me, where I would recommend this movie. I think this is a good movie. It's almost like a perfect summer movie of sorts in that if you want to just, quote unquote, I hate this term, but like shut your brain off and just watch something, there's not a lot of heavy lifting here mentally. But visually and the way it sounded was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you liked it more than I thought, reading your kind of instant reactions to it. But you did bring up, and I think you both brought up how cliche this movie is. You're right. It's like one of the most cliche movies I think I've ever seen. Yeah. It has every sports movie cliche in it. Like somehow like all jammed into the single film. Like they have like the old man getting back on the saddle, old ways versus the new. Like they have
young,
money.
Like,
they got like a little bit of Moneyball in there, where it's like we got to be the cheap team.
I'm
like
using
Moneyball
tech,
Major
I'm
League.
using feel.
Like there's so many things in there that are just like you've seen it before, but I think it kind of helps the movie because F1 is not a sport that I think we are familiar with. Most people in America are familiar with. I mean, this is it's an international brand, but this is targeted at American audiences. This is an American Hollywood blockbuster. And I think that simple plot really lets you kind of get into the film a lot quicker than if you were trying to do two things at once, which is introduce people to this sport they don't know anything about and build up another storyline. So I think the cliches work in its favor. Do I wish there was another storyline? Yeah, probably, but it, to your point, would not have made a lot of money. I think if they try to take this in a more serious direction or even just a more original direction, I think the simplicity is the strength here. And then, like you guys have brought up, Joseph Kosinski, I mean, just is really coming to his own as a filmmaker. He's like a mad engineer with these camera shots he's pulling off in high speed. I've seen it twice now. First time in IMAX, looked great. Second time yesterday, I actually watched it with my girlfriend's cousin, who is a race car driver. His car is actually at the beginning.
No way.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And he spoke to how well they captured that speed and just chaos. Yeah, no, it's really impressive. Really, really impressive.
Made a cool $300 million too. Nothing to fucking bark at.
Yeah, which is, I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised it ended up pulling that much.
Because like F1, like you were saying, American audiences, like we've gotten more into it since like the Netflix stocks, and, like all that shit. But like, it's not like a fucking football. It's not baseball. It's not
I'd even
like,
say like the WNBA is like more popular.
The boxing is like all. There's so many other sports that lend themselves like really heavily towards like the cinematic experience, and I don't think F1 really right now is. And like NASCAR, obviously we're more accustomed to, but it's not one that where it should have been that easy. But I guess when you have Brad Pitt signing on and you get a good budget, you have him showing up to actual F1 events and doing these things, like it helps you a ton. And I think we could break down some of the just elements of it. I think the story, again, so many cliches, like top to bottom. The entire storyline is just like an aggregate of like 15 million, or every sports movie ever made.
This could have been a better story.
It could have been.
I think we're letting him off the hook here a little bit because the things we like about it are so good.
Yeah.
And it's not just the look of it. The sound is incredible. This movie.
Really?
I mean, incredible. Kosinski is now might be the best action director we have now. I think at this point, is that fair?
I wouldn't go that far, but he's
like who's like just action.
Just purely action. I mean, I think Nolan. If you want to put him into the action.
Nolan's in his own camp.
Okay. Stahelski, I would put above him.
Stahelski's like fight action. I think that it
depends on like what kind of action you're really.
He gets vehicular action better than anybody on Earth right now. I think that is a no-brainer, right? Mm-hmm. Between this and Top Gun Maverick, every scene where you have a jet fight.
Yeah.
Like that is two of the best movies
just
from
incredible.
that.
It's okay. No matter what, we're saying he's now top
yes.
of the line. But I just think, and it's not his fault. He didn't write this. The story is just if that was a good story, this then becomes a classic all-time movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good everything else is. So it's a little bit of, I think you could have explained F1 racing and had something that wasn't that predictable.
Oh my God, this guy's the guy who wrote this, Ehren Kruger.
Kruger, yeah.
He wrote the three most recent, the three last ones of the Transformers movies, like the dog shit ones, the really turbo dog shit ones, the Ring adaptations, Ghost in the Shell. Man, these are tough. But then also Top Gun Maverick. So
wait, Aaron Kruger wrote a movie with a guy named Cade Yeager.
With Cade Yeager.
Kruger and Yeager.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Oh, and Dumbo too. Woof. These are some bad movies. Brothers Grimm, The Skeleton Key, Reindeer Games. Wow, he's been around.
Scream 3.
Fuck
These
you,
are-
the worst
Fuck you,
one.
Reindeer.
The worst Scream.
That's a tough. I mean, this is not well written. I would say this is very poorly written.
Yeah,
But everything else is so good, and Brad Pitt is so likable, and he's always Kerry Condon, and you're like, all right, like I'll go for this ride. Like, there's enough good things that it's fine.
yeah.
It left me a little frustrated at the end. I saw it with Jeff D'Lo,
Mm-hmm.
saw it with Kirk. Jeff really hated. No spoilers. Jeff didn't like the bad guy that's revealed at the end. Jeff really
Yeah.
thought that brought down the movie, which
Yeah.
I agree to some extent. And I think Kirk was, kind of
I didn't care.
didn't seem
'cause
to love it either.
I didn't care about that element because I don't care about F1. You know what I mean? Like that to me wasn't like some big like Morpo Blorpo. Here's this big guy and like Lewis. And I'm like I don't watch this enough to care about any of that. So that I think the ignorance helped a lot. So like I didn't even really put it together two together until like after the movie. You know what I mean? With like the Lewis Hamilton stuff, I was like,
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't even put two and two.
But
together.
that's not the bad. That's not the bad guy though. The
Oh,
villain.
they're talking about like him as like the final,
villain.
like the racing.
The villain. No. I'm
They're
talking
talking about
the-
Tobias Menzies as like
Yes.
the board member guy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That I didn't couldn't really care about either. Again, but that's also super
Jeff
cliche.
thought that really brought down the movie. That character.
Yeah. From an acting perspective, again, I don't think anything was really required of anyone here. Like Javier Bardem, one of the more best actors, not asked for to do anything.
I think he's the highlight, to be honest.
Damson Idris, like
I think
he's a
Damson
rising
Idris
star.
is also number 2 on the list.
He's
for
not
me.
asked to do much though. He's just like be
No, kind of
sarcastic.
waste their talents.
Be
And same
kinda
with Brad Pitt,
sarcastic.
really. Brad Pitt's a great actor.
Mhm.
I think he's good. He was asked to do almost a performance he would be asked to do in the 90s. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I just want you to be the pretty face and be there. I don't want you to actually
Sure.
try. And that I think was kind of a bummer. Kerry Condon, I think, is miscast a little bit. Like when you have the dorky car designer role, like I don't see Kerry Condon as that. Like,
No,
that's
that's
just
true.
not the person I think of for that role.
No.
But other than that, like I just don't think that the humans were the highlight of like the personal relationships, like all that shit. I don't think they were the highlights of this. The highlights of this was all car racing. The car racing.
Oh,
side.
absolutely.
Yeah. And
But you, in a perfect world, you would have
Both.
Both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd also like to highlight the Hans Zimmer score, which I thought
Fantastic.
was
Very good.
great.
That was great.
Mhm.
And the opening needle drop of what is it? Ramble On, or what is it?
I fucking don't remember.
It's a Led Zeppelin song. I
Yeah.
can't remember which one they played, but that opening needle drop
And
and,
the
the Hans Zimmer
credits.
score are fantastic. It is very frustrating, and I understand it's a corporate synergy thing with Apple Music. That a lot of those original songs stunk out loud, and I really wish they'd just stuck with classic rock needle drops throughout, because that
that's probably not F1. You know
that
what I mean?
first 15 minutes though is the strongest part of the movie, and I think the music and the score has a lot to do with it.
I think that's for us though. And like classic rock it'd be so good, and like they were talking about Days of Thunder too. Like,
Yeah.
so
'Cause
perfect for that.
that was a NASCAR event in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
So I think
yes.
that was
Yeah.
trying to show. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't NASCAR. It was.
Stock car or IndyCar.
Yeah, it was something, but it was
Yeah,
like
or
an
an
American
American
racing
American
event.
thing,
I think
yeah.
they were trying to, even though Led Zeppelin, but like
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
it felt very American.
Yeah. Like when you do like F1, like that's just I feel like it's a very different scene in reality.
Yeah.
But I think like you were saying, if they're trying to appeal to more Americans, then yeah, you
Right.
try to do that a little bit
It's
better.
funny that a British band though, like Led Zeppelin, would make you feel more
Way more.
Kind of did though. I don't
Here's
know.
the thing: God's greatest curse that He ever put on the English is they can't sing British. They sing and they sound like Americans. There's nothing they can do. There's like 2 British or English or whatever singers that can do that. Actually sound British when they sing. And again, the big highlight of this movie's final little aspect is just production design is incredible, top to bottom.
Incredible.
Visually looks
Academy Award level.
dude, like unbelievable. Like some of the best, like you'll see outside of something like Dune or something where you have like insane Greg Fraser, fucking Deakins level cinematography stuff. Like
Claudio Miranda's sneaky underrated. If you pull up his filmography, he's only
go
got, I think, like 8 movies in there. One of them being Failure to Launch, I think, being like his first movie.
Failure to Launch is his first movie.
But then he's got a nice list of just
Benjamin
like
Button after
really
that.
great looking films.
But dude, like Tron Legacy looks
Exactly.
fantastic.
Benjamin Button looks fantastic.
Yes,
I
I
rewatched
don't love
it.
the movie. I would give it credit there. Oblivion looks fantastic. Tomorrowland maybe not so much. Top Gun Maverick, Spiderhead, I didn't love.
Life of Pi too, right?
Life of Pi, Naiad, boo, not his fault. And then F1, yeah. I mean, it looks fantastic. They put a lot of, you can tell like time and effort into like kind of making it feel, because like NASCAR, I feel like NASCAR is a very like, it's proud of like the sort of like blue collar, rednecky feel to it. And F1, I feel like is the polar opposite. It's like very high tech, sleek, smooth, all those things. And I feel like they did a good job highlighting all that. So that'll look great. And again, whenever you're in the car, close up on Brad Pitt's face, close up on Damson Idris' face, you get the little swivel camera mount on the cars. I think it all looks so cool and like adds so much to that experience, especially like what you were saying, the sound. When you hear that sound pumping and you're turning around, bending around a track, and you feel the fucking camera turn.
And you could feel the cars like by the sound drive by you.
Yeah.
Like it was quite an event. It was one of the more unique summer films I've experienced, despite the plot being one of the most basic.
Generic, yeah. Some of the questions I came out of it was, would you think this movie would be better with less personal life stuff? Like less of the, will they, won't they Carrie Condon and Brad Pitt? How long do we need to develop the Damson Idris Brad Pitt relationship throughout this? Like how long? I think they either need to do way less or more effort into developing, like you were saying, and making an actual story. But like this sort of in between we got just made the movie maybe a little bit too long, and that maybe hurt it a bit to me.
I would say way less, because I know the second this is on streaming, Apple TV, probably in like 2 weeks. When I flip it on, I'll definitely just be skipping. I'll be skipping to the race scenes every single time.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a story, then it has. You see, the thing is, they put care into certain things. They put care into how it looks and how it sounds. They didn't put any care into the story. Yeah. So if you're not gonna put care in the story, don't give me more of it.
And I think another thing I came away with is that car racing is so thrilling, and why doesn't Hollywood invest more into those movies? Because this feels like a sort of genre where you can put money into it and people are going to go see it.
I think a lot of it is the technology hasn't been there. I know there was a behind-the-scenes featurette with Kaczynski, and he was running it through. I'm like, they had to, and he's interesting because he was an engineer for years before making the move to Hollywood, and he was literally engineering just new ways to attach cameras to the cars. I think it's just a very expensive endeavor that no one has had the balls to really go for until now.
So we look at their box office. It's made 109 domestic. I know it's made more internationally, but like this costs so much to make that I think there's some fears this might not even like break even.
I think they'll be fine though, because I
do
think they made a lot. I think they paid for a lot of it through through a lot of product, a lot of. I know Expensify, I think, paid like $15 million alone just to have their name as the lead sponsor on his car. And then there's the F1 access of it all, which I think F1 played a large role. I'm really interested to see what league does this next, because F1 gave them really unlimited access, and I think this will be huge for their sport.
I agree.
Yeah.
So who does it next? Who gives a filmmaker unlimited access to make a film?
Like Power Slap? Like what's a league that'll actually do that? You know what I mean? Like,
I could see like the EPL doing it.
Soccer movies, there
are
no good soccer
They
movies.
probably don't need it, but
It's like the Damn United and that's it. Like they just don't make those movies anymore.
the NFL.
But they didn't make the F1. They didn't make racing movies either. So like, and it's a lot cheaper to make a soccer movie than it is a racing movie.
Yeah. The football, some movies have done it, but then they put all these rules and regulations like Draft Day.
No one
like
can
famously,
lose.
Draft Day, they told them like you can make all the trades, no one can lose a trade. Like it's bullshit. So
no one really loses here, even though. Like even that, like Lewis Hamilton loses at the end, but they make sure to be like,
he crashed.
Verstappen is so good. Leclerc up in second, Lewis Hamilton in first every single race. Like,
and then lastly, question wise, Kaczynski's obviously done now. Air and land.
Mm-hmm.
Is it water the next like logical choice? Or we're going to see a Kaczynski. I don't know if it's a speedboat thing, but like something on water, because water is fascinating. We were just talking about it again with was it deep water or underwater, whatever the fucking Lyman thing.
Well, I mean,
Kaczynski.
He is very clearly heavily inspired by Tony Scott.
Yep.
He's done the Top Gun sequel.
Yep.
He's done I would say, very spiritually aligned to Days of Thunder movie. Crimson Tide up next.
And
They are making a sequel, though.
Which I do think is Tony Scott's best movie, to be honest.
that's
no.
I'm a True Romance fan.
I didn't think about True Romance.
It's definitely up there. I think.
Crimson Tide is a very good movie.
Yeah.
What would a water movie look like? Like, how do you even create the speed that...
Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Which I
Speed 2,
feel like-
Cruise Control, Jason Patrick, baby.
Don't forget.
Motherfucker, that goddamn it. But there's definitely a cool way you could do water. I mean, you watch some clips of, like... Do you remember, like, I think a few months ago, there was a clip of that one speedboat that went flying up in the air and did, like, fucking 15 parallel
I did not
flips and
see this.
crashed.
Oh
Like,
my
it was
goodness.
fucking crazy.
Best scene in Jurassic Park was in the water. I
Yeah, like, all that stuff
Mhm.
could definitely be cool.
World Rebirth, what the hell they're calling it.
Yeah. But anyway...
Do you think they went back to Rebirth? Do you think they just wrote down Jurassic World Reboot on a piece of paper and they're like, we need a title for this? And they're like,
What the fuck was even the Rebirth?
Sure. Yeah. Yep. It's done.
The fuck was even the Rebirth in that? Okay.
That's a good question.
What was
the
reborn?
They weren't
Reborn.
reborn.
Nothing was... Everything there was already born.
That's true.
Like, there
There's
was
very little reborn.
fucking stupid. Anyway, that is F1, a movie I think we liked a lot more in general than Jurassic Park. It's a movie I would give, like, probably like a high 80s score. I'd say like 86. I liked it quite a bit.
I'm at, like-
it's again stupid story, cliche, but like you go there for the racing and the racing rocks.
Mm-hmm. I meant like it's like the most firm, like 7.5 out of 10. Like one of the most firm 7.5 out of 10s I've seen in a while.
That's fair. I'd probably give it maybe a 7 out of 10. But we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Oh,
The strengths outweigh the weaknesses. For
This is one that I will recommend to pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I would recommend this as well.
yeah, like even like people with kids, I would say like go ahead, take your kids.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, for
everything.
sure.
And it's like it's safe. Like there's not like a lot
Yeah.
of
You get
crazy
you get
violence
one-
or crazy sex.
You get
Yeah.
a kiss and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Like a intense kiss and that's basically it. Anyway, again, that's F1. Now we can do our draft. We're doing a draft of the 30 highest grossing movies of the 90s, kind of in honor of Jurassic World, because we were talking a bit about just like, we obviously spawned out of the 90s, so it'd be a fun little exercise. And plus, Klemmer obviously you did your full top 100 movies. Out
I
of the
did.
90s,
I love the
so.
90s.
Yeah. So I randomized the order ahead of time. It is going to be Gooch, then me, then Klemmer. So I actually don't know. I don't think that there's a huge plus to any given position here, as far as how, because like, for example, the number 2 highest grossing movie of the 90s is Star Wars Phantom Menace. So like you're not exactly given a huge advantage. So Gooch, you get the first pick.
Let's see here. You know what? Let's keep it simple. We've been talking about it all day. I'm going to go with Jurassic Park. I've taken it in mini drafts. I've spoken about it at length. I think it is one of the most perfect films ever made. Like we said, has the blockbuster appeal while also being just a really smart movie. Well acted, pioneering for its time. So many things it does well and does perfectly. Love it. Just got the 4K of it recently and rewatched it before Rebirth.
It's crazy how good it looks. It's also crazy like they didn't make the switch to CGI until like the witching hour basically.
Yep.
Like that. It's a great Netflix, The Movies That Made Us, like the behind the scenes of how Jurassic World was made. Like some guy who's just working in like their tech department, like was like, yeah, I think I could probably make a CGI dinosaur, and they're like, oh really? Like, yeah, I think so. And he just made it and showed Spielberg, and they're like, oh, we'll do that instead of prop dinosaurs, like or miniatures, and then it turns out being the greatest decision they ever made for that.
They were so real. So I saw it in the theaters. It came out. One of the greatest movie theater experiences of my life. It's incredible.
Can't imagine.
It's a smart blockbuster with moral dilemmas. I was 13. It was a perfect age for it. It was awesome. People, like the morning shows, like Good Morning America and Today's Show, would have on people they'd be like, listen, those were not real dinosaurs. People thought they were real dinosaurs because before the internet. So like you couldn't just look it up.
Yeah.
So people didn't understand CGI yet, and people thought that they used actual, like somehow they managed to get dinosaurs back. That's how realistic it looked. That's how incredible it is. It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Great cast too. Like
Incredible cast.
Sam Neill. That was like the first big thing I think that he had really done right. And then after that, he has I feel an underappreciated good career and an underappreciated very good actor. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but look at that.
Very
Laura Dern went on to win an
Awesome.
Oscar. Jeff Goldblum, you kind of knew what you got because he had done Fly and Body Snatchers, Big Show. Before
Newman
that.
funny, Samuel.
Edinburgh.
Samuel L. Jackson was no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
And then Sir Richard Attenborough was actually one of the bigger names in it.
Yeah.
And all great. So Jurassic Park off the board, fantastic pick. This I'm kind of torn between a couple, but I think that the smart choice here is to get I think Saving Private Ryan. It's tough for me not to pick Saving Private Ryan. It's one of the highest grossing. Thank God. It is one of the most like poignant war movies I think ever made. Perfect cast across the board. Something where like, where the fuck has that Tom Hanks been? Where the fuck has that Tom Hanks been? I have not seen him in a long time. So good. Sizemore, amazing. The whole ad-libbed speech by Matt Damon, who was again still pretty unproven actor at the time, outside of Good Will Hunting, and like incredible scene between him and Tom Hanks.
Jeremy Davies' performance as like the coward, if you will.
So good, so nuanced. Like
so good.
He was incredible. I mean, everyone top to fucking Vin Diesel's in it and just crushes it. Like it's everybody is so good in it, top to bottom. Fantastic movie. Looks insane. Like so good. I don't think I've seen, at least on a World War II movie, that's come anything close to that.
1917 maybe. Oh, that's World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. World War II. Is it what's a better looking World War II movie?
Is there? I don't think there's been a better.
I guess you could say like Dunkirk if you want to look at like that element of it, but
I guess I don't even think that it was because the personal level of the story in Saving Private Ryan, it was just to me a better movie. You know what I mean? Like that was like Dunkirk to me still to this day, visually great. It's to me more of like a real life documentary than it is a movie.
I like Saving Private Ryan more than Dunkirk.
Yeah. So
that Spielberg guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a bad director.
So Saving Private Ryan for me
makes blockbusters too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one was also one of the highest grossing of that year. That was 98, 99.
Saving Private Ryan was that the great year, 99?
I think it was definitely one of.
It was 98 because it lost to Shakespeare in Love.
That's right. So Saving Private Ryan for me, Klemmer, you have back-to-back picks.
Okay. I'll go with. I'm trying to think what you guys.
You're going Forrest Gump. I'll just put you in right now.
Yeah, probably not. I'm trying to think what you guys would potentially pick here. I'm gonna go with. I'll start with T2.
Damn, I was really hoping that'd get around.
I thought you might go for that one.
I kind of gave up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not getting that.
I was like, I'm not getting that.
Just so well done. Ages really well. Obviously the effects, but like everything from Robert Patrick performance is really interesting.
Dude, great casting.
Great cast.
Crushed that.
I mean, for all the obvious reasons, I think it's James Cameron's best movie.
Is that or Aliens and like.
I'm a Titanic shooter to be honest, but
it's so long.
I think the second half of Titanic's incredible. The first half is so rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's his best. It's arguable, but I think it's his best. I just the scenes like in the I forget what those are called because I'm not from LA, but like those like
ravine, the river
yeah,
thing, reservoir.
The reservoir,
Yeah.
like that is like
so cool.
I mean, it's just a perfect filmmaking. It's such a great scene. It gives you everything you want. Like the tractor trailer does go through the overpass. It's just awesome. That movie's incredible. One of the greatest action movies ever made. And then my other pick, I'll take. There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom, the last one on the list.
Which I did a rewatch of for my list, and I was shocked how much I was laughing hysterically throughout. Like it still holds up. It's still really funny. Everything from Nepalese coins to the hair gel, obviously. Like it's just fantastic. I mean, have you seen my baseball? I mean, there's so many great things in it. And it's Ben Stiller, Cameron Diaz, both kind of before they became kind of known for being like Cameron Diaz, like the wacky girlfriend, and Ben Stiller is kind of like the guy that always kind of like the
downtrodden,
like anxiety-ridden guy. Yeah, it was kind of the first time seeing that incarnation. So I really like that movie a lot.
Even like Keith David is so funny. he's talking to him and he comes up and he's like, "Yeah, I thought she went with Woogie." And
I mean, and Matt Dillon, by the way, is just hysterical. In that
dude's perfectly deadpan delivery of like the funniest things you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah, that might be like Office Space is the best comedy to me of the '90s, but that's right up there with it.
Well, I wonder, the Farrelly brothers have anything else coming up? Hopefully.
Oof. Well, they kind of split up, and then they.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they hate each other, but one guy made the Green Book and everything.
Oh, they did Ricky Stenicki? Just Peter did. Okay.
Yeah. Dear
Santa with Jack Black. Okay.
Is it Bobby's doing the serious ones and Peter? No, Peter is the serious ones. Or was.
Yes.
And Bobby still was doing comedy.
Peter did like Green Book and all that shit. Yeah. I don't remember what the other one was doing. So there's Something About Mary. It's also, I think, one of the last times that like a rom-com has made it into like the top 5 highest grossing movies of a year. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't really happen anymore. It's always going to be an IP.
Even a comedy. When's the last time you saw a comedy? Straight comedy make?
Peter Farrelly is going to direct the. I don't know if you guys read about this, but they're making a movie about the making of Rocky.
Oh no, I didn't know about that. Yes.
Yes.
He's doing that.
Like
Yes.
basically The Offer, but for Rocky, more or less.
Yes, but they're gonna make a movie about like Sylvester Stallone. It's
That's not
I'll read the
Not a bad idea.
I'll
It's
read the
fascinating story.
description.
Crazy story.
The synopsis. A struggling actor with a partially paralyzed face and a speech impediment writes a script that a big movie studio wants to buy, but he refuses to sell it unless he gets to play the lead.
Why that extra part in the beginning?
Why not just say it's the making of the movie Rocky?
Yeah.
Maybe they know the rights.
Yeah.
I know that Erwin Winkler or his family is very protective of that.
Yeah. All right. So turn T2, and then there's something about Mary. I'm back up. You backed me into a corner, but it's not one I hate. The Matrix. I mean, The Matrix is one of the most revolutionary sci-fi movies ever made. I was watching because again, and we were watching the DVDs. They had all the behind the scenes. I've never actually seen the camera rig that they used for the bullet time thing. It's crazy.
I've never seen it either.
Dude, it's insane. Like they have like 15 or probably more. It's probably like 50 for 20-ish cameras, like all lined up in a row, like around this one center axis that Keanu Reeves is on, and just to get that entire full rotating effect, almost like the ones.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like the rig that they used for 28 years later.
Very, 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 almost the exact same thing as that, except with real cameras, and it was fascinating to look at. But it's obviously incredible. Will Smith, fucking
Idiot.
moron.
Oh,
Moron. Yeah, I want to do Wild
it's hard
Wild
to say.
West.
I mean, he did agree to do some big time movies, but yeah, he's.
But he
declined.
also declined Inception. Like, this guy just does not make the right choices with sci-fi. It's like, I just don't get the script.
And Inglorious, Django.
Mm-hmm. You just needs to get like someone to help him read or something. Like, I don't know. But it's an incredible movie. Still holds up so well. Visually, it looks great. Like, there's not really many scenes, even in the sequels. Like, I think neither of the sequels are that great, but there are scenes in all the sequels that I think are great too. Like,
Yeah.
the highway fight scene in 2 is so fucking cool.
So
like
good. The infinite Mr.
Mr. Smith fight.
The
Yeah.
infinite Mr. Smith fight, so good.
Dude, he's amazing. Hugo Weaving, really good as Agent Smith. Like, everyone rocks. I love The Matrix. So I'll go with The Matrix. Klemmer, Gooch, you have 2.
Ooh, really wanted that. Really, really wanted that. But there's still a lot of good movies on the board.
There are.
One of them being Home Alone.
Ooh,
First kids movie off
yeah.
the board. A timeless classic. One of the just great Christmas movies, if not the greatest. Always captures the magic of just childhood and Christmas time, while also just being endlessly fun. Joe Pesci, just great. What is the other actor's name?
Daniel Stern.
Yeah, Daniel Stern.
Yes, also great. Yeah, no, I love that movie. It really doesn't get old. It's one of the few that I can go back to annually and just still enjoy it as much as I did when I was a 5-year-old, and if not, enjoy it more. Like, it's a really well-made movie.
Something about Chris Columbus, I think he really managed to get like childlike magic. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
pretty much like everything he did.
every Harry Potter, like he really, really was able, just had that narrowed down. I mean, that's just John Williams effect partially too, but like,
Yeah.
he really got it.
Macaulay Culkin's performance in that movie is incredible.
Yes,
I mean,
that too.
You watch it now, you're like, this is one of the greatest comedic performances of of the '90s, much less by a kid.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, kids can totally sabotage, derail a movie. This movie is just him, really. It's
Yes,
really
he
just
carries
him.
that movie, which is wild. I mean,
He's really good in the
and
second.
the second one's just the same fucking movie though.
It is, but he's really good in it, and he's still a kid, and I find that impressive.
I don't like it. The first one though is a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a strong add to the list. For
Great
sure.
pick.
And I'll stay in the kids department. This is just best player available, in my opinion, The Lion King.
Lion King.
Which I think is the best Disney animated movie of their Renaissance era, which is really saying something because they were just cooking there for a while. Fantastic. I mean, it's a Hamlet adaptation for children and somehow works perfectly. The voice performances, great. James Earl Jones, iconic voice. Alan Menken soundtrack still plays. I mean, there's a reason why that Broadway play has been running for 20 years now.
Yeah.
Sold out every night. It's great. It's timeless.
To me, it's one of those like definition of the '90s movies because like it has that same '90s color palette. It
Yes.
has, like that.
Yeah, that's the
that
other thing.
fun
The
vibe
animation
that-
is beautiful.
Yeah, looks great.
Which apparently Disney did say recently they're going to go back to 2D
love
for
that.
some of their projects.
As long
Looking
as they're,
forward to that.
Although nowadays I'm worried that means that they're going to have AI generate all of that shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
I saw Elio, and that was very disappointing.
It's just
It was
like
it was an okay enough movie, but like for
Yeah.
Pixar,
That's
It
where
was-
it's like they can't be putting out okay movies.
no.
Yeah, I think they should be held to a higher standard than that.
And that's what I expect. When you see that Pixar title card, you expect a higher standard. It did not deliver that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lion King off the board. I'm back up. There's a lot in here I really do want. I think I'm trying to think of like you were saying best player available. There's 2 on my mind. think. Damn, I got a Mission Impossible. It's still I like. It's like my fourth best probably of the franchise, but it's still really really damn good.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
all the math stuff is cool. All the actors are amazing. Like John Voight is the perfect villain always. Even like I always forget Emilio Estevez is in it until I watch it. He's there for 2 seconds. But the French woman that like the arms dealer Max, whatever, I remember the actress name.
Maxine.
Yeah, Max. But I love everything about it. Cool, fun, super kinetic, fun stunts, all that shit, all the good stuff. It's Mission Impossible. I feel like it's an easy pick for me.
It's De Palma, baby.
It's De Palma, man. I think we've talked about this before. Not many directors have as interesting a filmography as far as like shooting across different types of genres of movies. You know what I mean? Like really different vibes of what they're trying to do in different things. And I really respect that about De Palma. So Mission Impossible and Klemmer, you have back to back.
So the first one for me, it's The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And that to me is that might be my favorite movie on this list. I was hoping it would just get back to me on it.
Okay.
I think that is maybe my favorite, well, other than The Shining, my favorite horror movie ever. Crazy it's only PG-13. There's actually not a lot of violence in it, but you're so scared the whole time you wouldn't expect that. One of the great movie theater experiences of my life, seeing that, 'cause I didn't know the twist when I saw it the first time. Bruce Willis is really good in it, and Haley Joel Osment I think is the greatest kid's performance ever. And the script is fantastic. It's so well directed by M. Night Shyamalan back when he had a little when he was great. He was still a great director.
Still is.
Interesting director now. I wouldn't say it's great anymore.
Greatest single movie twist in history, probably. Like those are they expire or whatever, but like that has to be the single.
That was the one that took my breath away the most I've ever seen.
Yeah. It gets tough around here.
I'm gonna say I might take a kids movie myself.
I think I know which one you're gonna take.
I think there's only I guess there's only one left for really me to take. Toy Story is a fantastic movie. I saw that in the theaters as well. Took my sister. My sister's 8 years younger than me. I saw Lion King in the theaters too. But Toy Story really kind of was like, wow, that was really. And I was 15, so I was a little older. And I was like, this is a really like innovative, interesting thing. We've never seen computer animation before ever in a movie. You saw it in commercials and stuff, but never in a full length movie. And it looked so clean. You got tied. It wasn't, and they could have gotten by just in the gimmick. And in fact, you had 2 characters you walk out of there really caring about is a real testament to how good that script was.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty content with going with Toy Story.
I think 2 of the best. I don't know how it worked out, but like Tim Allen is the perfect Buzz. Yeah. And Tom Hanks is the perfect Woody. I don't know how to explain it, but like you can't. I couldn't think of anyone who could voice those characters better than those 2 people. But yeah, I think that's a great pick. So Sixth Sense and Toy Story, weird, funny back to back. I think.
Yes.
Like movies. For me, I think I will say there's movies on here that are definitely better, but it's the movie that speaks to me the most, and that's The Mummy. I love The Mummy. I fucking love The Mummy. As far as just like a silly little like fun old school adventure type movie, which like gives you, it's almost like Indiana Jones Light. You know what I mean? Where it's like, let's give you like we can't give you Indiana Jones. There's no way we can give that to you. But we can give you something to like, take the edge off a little bit. And that's what The Mummy is to me. I like Brendan Fraser a lot, especially in this era. He just had that sort of like natural charisma. Rachel Weisz, also great. No, all the other little castings, like the little Hungarian guy that they ring around, that like the little weasel guy. Like that guy. I love that guy. The dude who played The Mummy is awesome. Like visually, I think all the production value stuff looks cool. The sand effects, like all those things. The actual Mummy was pretty fucking scary. It's just cool. I mean, Rick O'Connell's a cool character. He's got the 2 pistols and the fucking. Anytime you have a character with the leather gun holster, that's just a cool ass dude. There's nothing you can do about it. So I like The Mummy. Again, better movies on this list, but I love The Mummy. Gooch, you have your last 2.
Better movies for sure, but it's kind of shocking how very few films have been able to crack that Indiana Jones formula since, and The Mummy is like one of the very few. So yeah, a lot of credit to that. I'm gonna go. Yeah, this makes sense. A movie near and dear to my heart, Men in Black.
That's a good pick.
Speaking of Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, great pairing. Tommy Lee pairs so well when he gets lined up against a charismatic actor like that. Unless it's Jim Carrey.
I was gonna say, unless
it's Jim Carrey.
Unless it's Jim Carrey, but that curt old man style against Will Smith, who I've said I think he's like the most charismatic actor of my lifetime. Is so good. It looks great. The alien designs are great. And then Vincent D'Onofrio with legitimately, like, the more people have brought this up, it is like a shocking performance. Like, it is very stunning,
super physically demanding.
physical.
Incredibly physical.
Yeah.
Incredibly unique.
Yes. And the more I've like come to watch more movies, I've come to appreciate that just so much more.
Tony Shalhoub too, right? In the
Yes.
first one or
Yeah.
second? First one, yeah.
I think he's in the first one, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
The D'Onofrio performance is physically one of the all-time physical performances.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird.
Yes, so strange.
Yeah, perfectly like off-putting too. Like not to the point of being like this is too goofy. Like you know what I mean? It's just like you
He just
buy it.
went for it, and he's underratedly one
agree.
of the great character actors of my life. I mean, you consider
Comes on the scene with the Full Metal
Full Metal
Jacket. It's
Jacket.
insane.
Men in Black.
The Player.
Like, yeah,
Have
like
you seen that?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was Robert Altman. He's a really interesting actor.
He'll show up in a movie and typically like just steal scenes. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like no matter what it is, good or bad movie, he'll just show up and crush it.
Yep.
So
Great
Men in Black.
Kingpin too.
It's great Kingpin. Yeah.
Klemmer, you ever watch Daredevil on Netflix?
I haven't. No.
He's very
he
good
is
in it.
really good in it.
It's very
That
I
show
good.
is
believe it.
good.
I know the character from reading the comics, and I
Yeah.
believe that he'd be a good one.
And then what was gonna be my last pick? Hold on, I had it lined up. Oh yeah, Armageddon, baby. Come on, it's Armageddon. Love it.
It's a really stupid
so
movie.
I'm surprised you're taking that over Titanic.
That's what I thought you were gonna take.
Wait,
which
is
means
Titanic in
Titanic's
this list?
yeah, man. Top 100 movies of the 90s
Oh no shit.
or top 30
Oh,
highest
it's because I put it into a notes app and I didn't copy it.
Oh, you know
Give me
it,
Titanic.
guys.
Come on.
Oh, you shouldn't have said anything.
Come
I
on.
had to. I heard the guy likes it. I don't want to embarrass.
I was gonna
the guy.
pick it out of like default because I was like, if I can get that in the last
I
round,
did
it's a
look
steal.
through and I was like, this doesn't feel like 30.
You're missing something.
I was gonna take it if you didn't
humongous.
take it.
So
Yeah.
it's like, this does not feel like 30. Yeah, Titanic. What's left to say about it? I mean, it's highest grossing movie of all time, adjusted for inflation still, maybe? I don't know. But fantastic. I mean, James Cameron just kind of turning a different gear and showing a different side of himself that I don't think was there before, and does it while staying true to himself. It's so big, it's so beautiful, and it's a story that everyone's familiar with, but everyone wanted to see it still.
Yeah. So Titanic off the board.
And Kate Winslet, good
And
Lord.
Kate
What a
Winslet.
beautiful woman.
I do love Jim Cameron just being like, I just need to pop that top off and let me, just get you naked real quick, just for science, for my production. It's like,
Not
all right,
just
Jim.
Sketcher Naked with his offhand because he needed it to be true to
Yes, to look like-
Leo, which is just God, I love
God,
him, man.
Jim, you fucking pest. Okay, so Titanic off the board. My last pick, I'll do Independence Day. I mean, you want to talk about just I don't think it's a perfect movie by any stretch.
You guys killing me. You guys taking all my picks.
It is when you're talking about like summer blockbusters. That to me is like a definitive summer blockbuster. You know what I mean? Like just
Oh, it was.
like,
It
is
was.
one of the to me it's like you put movies up there like Jaws and stuff like that. Like this is one of the definitive summer blockbusters and it looks cool. Like you were mentioning Will Smith, one of the most charismatic actors in the world. Whole cast throughout too. Like even you get fucking Randy Quaid.
Oh yeah,
nowhere delivering a great performance. Like I think it's the definitive. It was cool. It had the fucking blowing up the White House. It had great effects. It had the alien welcome to Earth. Good lines. Good going out in the salt flats for those shots on the. It's fantastic. It's great. And Bill Pullman's speech, great. I mean, what do you always have to say?
I saw it in the theaters. When I got out, me and my buddies, we were so revved up. So, I was declaring, idiot 16-year-old, this is the best movie of all time. This is this and The Godfather. I was so excited. You were just on cloud 9 after seeing it. And, a couple hours later, all right, Pulp Fiction exists. And, there's some pretty great movies that exist. But the exhilaration you had for just being a exciting night of summer cinema was maybe unparalleled to how excited you were to how good the movie actually is. And it delivered. It was the perfect summer movie. It really was. Yeah.
It's just one of those ones, even again, if it's not perfect, it is just such, to me, I think of the word blockbuster, it's one of the movies I put right next to that word.
Was there a ton of buzz going into that because of those commercials where it just blows up the White House?
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. Let's go. No, there was a lot of excitement. That's why I just went to go look at some of the marketing material for Independence Day. Just like this particular one, I want to say the original commercial was in the Super Bowl.
Was it?
I could be wrong about that.
I feel like I've seen the original commercial, and that's why I asked.
And it was like, holy shit. It was very, very exciting time.
Emmerich has lost that fastball too. You want to
talk
about
man.
Really
Poseidon's one
lost
of the
it.
worst movies I've ever seen.
Dude, he had some I appreciate some of the other ones that he's done, like
he had
Day
some,
After Tomorrow.
he had a
right?
little bit of magic. Yeah, with the Day After Tomorrow,
He
still had some magic to him. But by 2012,
By the way, Gaz was #1 director, if I remember correctly. Gaz loves
Roland Emmerich.
Yeah,
It's his favorite
loves
director.
Roland Emmerich.
Okay.
Moonfall, which was dog shit.
Moonfall was horrible. I saw
So
that.
bad. Midway, which is also not. That was a CGI fucking disaster.
I missed Midway, thankfully.
In a
That was
second,
Apple Plus, wasn't it?
Midway. I don't know if
Right
it's
about
that.
that?
No, it came out in theaters. Just no one. I think anyone went to see it. Yeah, I don't see Apple. Lionsgate.
No, okay. Sorry.
Um,
Thinking of something else.
the other Independence Day, which is bad. White House Down, which is whatever. 2012, which there are parts of it I like, but it's just
2012 is what it is.
yeah. And he's got another movie. He's directing a Stargate reboot.
Oh, God.
That is interesting. But yeah, he's really seemed to have lost it. Didn't he also randomly do The Patriot? Am I crazy? He did. He did do The Patriot.
With Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Saw that.
that's such a random turn from him.
Right out of nowhere, and I love The Patriot.
What if the world didn't blow up? What if the world wasn't
that
in
to
it?
me is a cool, good cast. You get kind of the same thing happening a little bit, but a good soundtrack, good cast, good action for the most part. Like as far as depicting, that era of warfare. I don't know how much better you can really do, but I think
Saw that on a date.
that's a weird date movie.
Yeah,
that's a strange date movie.
It's like the only American Revolution movie too.
It's really none.
There's like
Crazy.
none of them.
Ken Burns, the whole documentary. The next
Yeah.
documentary is gonna be about the revolution.
Movie.
Yeah, more like
I
movie.
know. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I'm excited. I'm a big Ken Burns guy. I'm excited.
All right, so Independence Day off the board. Klemmer, your last pick in the last pick of this
This
draft.
is a big drop off here. I guess I'm gonna go with Twister. There's just nothing here that I'm really that in love with. Phantom Menace is flawed. I like it more than a lot of people do, but it's just not that great.
Armageddon, which we talked about.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, which you are a hater of.
I
I'm a-
do not
people
like
aren't
Forrest
gonna-
Gump. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Dancing with Wolves is too long and boring.
Jurassic World, Lost World, not gonna make it.
No, you know what? I would have been. I was torn between was Mrs. Doubtfire, which has its and then Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is Kevin Costner's
Yeah.
Robin Hood, but it's got Morgan Freeman in it, Christian Slater in a weird performance. It's a weird fucking movie. Oh, Alan Rickman's the bad guy, so that's always fun.
Sure, Nottingham or whatever.
But I can't pick that. But I mean, Twister is like a legitimately like entertaining movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman in this weird supporting role. Helen Hunt's
Paxton,
fun.
great.
Yeah, that's just an enjoyable movie.
Ghost was also
Bill
on the list.
Paxton, of course.
I forgot Ghost was on this top grossing list, which is crazy. Like
Ghost?
one of the top.
Ghost. A movie like Ghost. The idea that movie was such a huge sensation, won Oscars, was a box office
Like smash hit.
legend at the time. That would never happen today.
Aladdin also up there, but we're talking about like the best kids movies of this era. That's just not going to crack it. Toy Story 2, Pretty Woman, another one like you were saying.
Another movie we would never see like that. Wouldn't get 50 million nowadays.
Tarzan, same thing as Aladdin. Miss Doubtfire, you mentioned. The Bodyguard, I forgot up there too.
That made so much money.
Yeah, Robin.
Kevin Costner had a run.
I think Men in Tights was better than Men in Prince of Thieves.
I like the score a lot in Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, Godzilla also on the
Matthew
list.
Broderick, the rare Broderick.
Jean Reno, yeah, what a crew. And then True Lies was the last one on the list.
True Lies. That's one that you could argue True Lies or
I like True Lies.
Twister. I'll go with Twister.
So our final lists are Gooch has Jurassic Park, Home Alone, The Lion King, Men in Black, and Titanic. Wow, that's strong.
These are all good movies.
I have Saving Private Ryan, The Matrix, Mission Impossible, The Mummy, and Independence Day. Klemmer has T2, There's Something About Mary, The Sixth Sense, Toy Story, and Twister. These are all like fucking good movies. Like,
I know, which is like if you went back and did this for the 2010s and now the 2020s, it's kind of depressing. Like
There'd
if
be a
we were
lot of
drafting
Marvel.
from the top 30 movies, like we would just be choosing from Marvel movies, some DC movies mixed in,
maybe that'll be the next
a
episode.
couple Star Wars movies. I mean, really all franchise stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
we go back and do this and we do non-franchise for.
Would anything
2010s.
sneak through that like?
Would anything from the 2010s? To be honest, I'm struggling to think
Me
of.
too.
Let's see what the
I'm trying to think
Oh,
of
maybe- oh,
Nolan movies.
Was there any like one-off?
let's see.
Yeah,
franchise, remake, franchise. These are
Frozen.
all. Yeah, that's the first original one is Frozen, the top grossing of the 2010s. Beauty and the Beast remake, Incredibles 2 franchise, Minions was this Despicable Me was the original, so that's not that. Man, it's Skyfall, but that's franchise too. Fuck,
That's
man,
ultimate franchise.
that's bleak. Joker also part of
Joker's
an
Batman.
existing.
Yeah, and that's 30. So one movie?
That's brutal, man. That's Zootopia. I like Zootopia.
Yeah, but now we're at 38.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
Yeah, and
here.
I'd even say you can remove kids' movies to a degree from.
Bohemian Rhapsody is at 46. That's one of the only original ones.
That has the Queen IP
that's
if you want to
fucking
look at it that way.
True. But then I guess you could also look at like T2 as a part of a.
T2's a sequel, but look at the rest of this list though. I mean, obviously Star Wars and stuff, but there's Mrs. Doubtfire doesn't have a fucking IP.
Yeah.
Ghost didn't have an IP.
That's for damn sure.
Twister, Pretty Woman.
Yeah. I mean, Mission Impossible is technically an IP.
Oh, it is absolutely.
So like
Jurassic Park wasn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
The Matrix wasn't.
The Mummy technically an IP.
Yeah, I guess. The Bodyguard wasn't. Dancing with Wolves wasn't.
I mean, a lot
True
of these
Lies.
a way
Toy
bigger
Story.
ratio. Yeah. Miss
There's Something About
Doubtfire.
Mary.
Miss
Like-
Doubtfire, Pretty Woman.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of
all
movies.
These. Forrest Gump.
That's back when they used to make creative. Titanic.
Yeah.
It's back when they used to make creative movies.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that in the next one. We'll try and do 2010s non-franchise, which will be extremely difficult.
Good luck finding that list.
Yeah.
It'd be movies that make like $12 million.
Let's see. What do we got coming up? We have Superman.
Oh, huge.
Superman.
This is the biggest release since Top Gun Maverick.
What are we? What
The
are the
biggest release since Top Gun Maverick.
From an industry standpoint.
Like it
From
needs to
importance.
be
From importance.
huge.
Because everything rides on this for so many different things.
You don't think Barbenheimer was
No.
a bigger?
I watched 2 movies.
And I also
two
don't think
movies,
that
but
was
both of them were, in a way.
This is bigger.
I don't
'cause
think that was anticipated to be like an insane
true.
event.
That's
Warner,
This is like
Warner
everyone
Brothers
needs to-
hinges on this.
Yeah, they need this.
And I think in a
Sneaky,
weird way,
though?
Marvel kind of does too.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers sneaky, having a fucking knockout year.
Not even sneaky. Huge year.
Huge year.
Look at
Like,
look at the like.
Zaslav's going to be
But, like,
working into
This
for
brand
another
new,
decade.
this
They're
brand
all
new
good
D-
movies.
Yeah,
The last 4 have been good.
they have like 18.
Final
DC
Destination's a good movie.
Yeah,
Does Minecraft fit into that?
it definitely.
Yeah,
does. It
it
definitely does.
did what I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I would say it's interesting and that exactly what it wants to do. Sinners was the second best movie of the decade for me.
Mhm.
And what am I forgetting? There's a fourth.
The fourth
Or
WB
maybe
picture.
the fourth is Superman? Warner Brothers had.
maybe.
Of course, Warner Brothers also put out Alternate Nights, which was bad.
Oh god, dog shit movie. We were just talking
But
about that before. 'cause somebody
Pivoting
had
back
this
to the importance of it, outside of WB, what makes this more important than anything else since Top Gun Maverick?
I think Marvel, the idea of a superhero. I know there's a weird thing where like if this bombs, I think Marvel it looks worse for Marvel in a way. In that comic book movies, the genre itself is kind of at the breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
I also was being the only release of the week. It's huge. It's the most anticipated release of this summer. Already been a really good summer this year for sure. Box office, I think it's up 15% from last year. But this could put it over the top. And I think the biggest thing though is the fact that you have an entire studio, major studio riding on this.
Yeah. By the way, F1 was a Warner Brothers Apple collaboration.
Oh, F1's
And F1 is
because
number 10.
F1's distributing it. Warner Brothers distributing it.
Yep.
And that's a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are all good movies.
And but I would agree with Klemmer that is the big thing with Superman is like there is huge anticipation with it. He is Superman. Superman is superhero 1A.
Oh yeah.
So like there's so much that goes into that. Plus all the DC has all these planned projects. All that really hinges on this being at least successful financially, if not critically.
What's bigger then? I guess that's the pushback is like Top Gun Maverick was bigger because that's saved that summer.
Yeah.
What's bigger since then? And you could say I say Barbenheimer, but
I don't think that was anticipated to be like a huge.
I think it was. But there's 2 releases, and it was like, and you already had Mission Impossible in theaters, like so it wasn't like.
I don't think anyone expected Oppenheimer to make $1 billion.
No, they didn't.
Like I think like Barbie, sure, because it's like please appeal to kids.
I mean,
but
it made so much money. Both made right. Oppenheimer to make that much was crazy.
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that was definitely a huge surprise. But,
What does a failure look like for Superman?
I don't know. That's a good question. For Superman, I feel like,
Anything under domestic,
just money wise.
Money wise, yes.
anything under 250 domestic is a problem. Captain America made 200 exactly.
They can stomach a loss though.
What was the next one? Thunderbolts made 190. So I think both Fantastic Four and Superman have to cross 250. Both of them each.
I think Fantastic Four will have that easy.
I do too. I'm high on
It's
Fantastic
attached to too many
They
things.
coming off of Thunderbolts, they're
and I
in
think
a good
Superman will
spot.
have it easy too. I think both these will clear.
Yeah,
I'm optimistic.
I don't see a world in which this has to hit like 500 or something. Like I don't mean like it has to
Like
for
international?
international for
not
sure.
domestic. It's
For
not
sure.
gonna hit that domestic.
I think that like when you're talking about he's like a face of America superhero, again, superhero 1A to the point where like your parents aren't going to see Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? Your parents will go to see Superman, I think.
Well, they're saying for international, it needs to hit 7.
Yeah, that I think for sure. I think domestic it's not impossible only because of the wide reach.
5?
Because of the wide appeal of demographically, not
What's
just
the last movie to hit 5 domestic?
Sinners. No,
Sinners.
Sinners at 200.
Fucking
Sinners
Lightning Stitch has only hit 4.
Sinners at 200, I think. Yeah.
No, nothing's hit 5 in a long time. Probably
Black
Barbie.
Black Panther maybe or
Moana 2.
Moana 2 is definitely
That hit
Let's
5
see.
domestic.
domestic.
Inside Out 2 ended up making like $1 billion.
1.4.
Moana made 460.
Okay.
Moana 2, excuse me, made 460. I don't know if anything's made 5 since Barbie.
No Way Home made 814,000. Damn.
Barbie made 636.
Strong shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think that like there's such a wide demographic reach for Superman, which helps it a ton. Like it's so much more than the Guardians of the Galaxy or like any of these random one-off Marvel superhero things, like Thunderbolts, whatever. This is such like he is a ubiquitous the superhero, and I think that just helps. At least to me, I think
it helps a lot. And if this doesn't work, then Warner Bros. Has invested so much into this marketing-wise. If this doesn't work, if this doesn't work, I think we're looking at the end of superhero, which maybe we already are. Maybe we already have.
How much would you have guessed that Man of Steel made?
Domestic or international?
International or domestic, let's say.
Domestic, it made I'll say 280.
290. 291.
Yes, damn.
Worldwide made 670, which I would have thought it would be even more. But again, that was I feel like a different vibe. Super like this is I think more geared towards
this
full audience.
Hit 5. This won't hit 4. But if it hits 3,
that'd be huge.
That'd be big. It needs to clear 250. This needs a clear 250, and Fantastic Four needs to clear 250, or else we've seen the end of superhero movies. Now, Avengers will come out in a year and a half. I know that might do all right, but like the idea of like actual superhero movies being a thing that people, I don't even know if people care anymore.
Yep.
We might have already crossed the bridge.
I think there's still people that care, but it'll be pulled back.
Well, it'll be cheaper
It'll
movies.
be one or
which
two
might be a good
year.
thing. By the way, I think making cheaper. You're seeing sci-fi being made for $50 million. That's incredible.
Maybe it is. Maybe that is the plan. But the superhero movies, as we know them right now, will cease to exist.
Where it's like an event thing, like you can really bank on a tentpole IP with a superhero. Like I think I would agree with that.
Like Captain America and Thunderbolts, I thought were really telling. It's like, oh wow, this, the gas is out of the car.
Especially because Thunderbolts I thought was good, and
I know
the Captain America not so much, but like Thunderbolts like had real juice, good word of mouth, and it really didn't push it over like that next hump, which is fine because they're not mainline superheroes or whatever, but still.
There's a year and a half off, I'm told, between this and the next Marvel movie.
Just
yes.
probably
that's
good.
probably good though.
Probably good.
Yes, I think that's part of the effect of when Iger came back and was like,
yeah, we gotta stop the shit.
He's like, guys, actually, never mind. Remember what I said about making a ton more movies?
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore. Quit
cut
making
that
TV shows.
Shit out. Cut that shit out. No more of this fucking 500 TV shows. Which I still haven't watched Ironheart. Have you?
I have not.
Yeah, I have no plans to. I think I'm just Marvel TV shows in general. I haven't watched I think the last 2. I'm just kind of like Daredevil.
You don't feel like you're really missing.
I watched
much.
Daredevil because it was attached to something that previously that I already liked. But like the new ones that they're pumping out, I'm just like What If, like all these things I'm just not really into. But anyway, Superman next week should be a fun one. Very excited. Praying for our boy David Cornsweet.
Corn Sweat, baby.
Cornsweet.
Their marketing strategy is heavily pivoted. I don't know if you've noticed this into just he's hot. You don't know who he is, but he's hot. Here he is on GQ.
Yep, exactly. Okay, but we will see you guys next week. Make sure you go check out Superman this weekend.